And I'm going to share some of my thoughts about the innovation cycle, and I'd like to give a brief background so you know my biases. So I've had the good fortune of being immersed in the space for a long time. Got started with AMO in the 70s, Chiron Vision in the 80s, got into the venture side of life in the late 90s. I did an informal tally, and of these companies that I've had the good fortune of being involved in, there have been over 50 novel products developed, an unknown number of failures in that process, many PMAs and NDAs, a lot in the anterior segment and in the posterior segment as well. And so what I thought I would do is I'm going to share with you my perspective on the innovation cycle, the key characteristics. Well, guess what? It is taking too long. It's become pretty doggone expensive. The rewards are variable. We're getting older. So I find myself kind of wondering, you know, but it's a little difficult for me to say, you know, out loud. But what do you think? Should we call it a day? You know, it's becoming ever more challenging. Jim, what do you think? Should we give it up?
First off, I can't believe that's not going to be Bill Lincoln, Bill. That's obviously not Bill. That's blasphemy, Bill. Take that slide.
Okay, move on.
Jim, you got 14 companies in your advertisement program.
We should keep doing it, maybe. Any other thoughts?
Keep going.
Keep going.
Don't stop.
Don't stop. Okay. Okay. It was close. It was so close. I knew I was at risk in this group. We won't quit. So the innovation cycle, we're going to step through quickly what the stages, some of our views of the stages of innovation. There's the observation invention stage, the product development preclinical stage, and the iteration that happens around that process. In ophthalmology especially, and in all medical device technology, we try to get as quickly as possible into the human proof of concept stage, very important value inflection point, further iteration and refinement based on those learnings. In this world, we often, maybe always, get CE mark and do market launch, market testing, market development, OUS, before we do it in the US. When we're fortunate, we get FDA approval, and then we do the global launch and the real market test. Projects fail at every stage, all the way to the end. Another way to look at that same innovation cycle is a timeline. The observation invention stage may be 1 to 3 years. The product development preclinical is, again, variable, but 1 to 3 years. The human proof of concept is in that same category with a major inflection in value at that point. Then there's the refinement based on those learnings, another couple of years. CE mark, market launch outside the US, FDA study, FDA approval. And so the strong value drivers in the innovation cycle are the human proof of concept, gaining early market access someplace, and to see where you stand, and then FDA approval and global launch. I thought I'd review quickly some of the principles that drive innovation. Focus on important issues, no kidding. Identify what those value drivers are and find where innovation will be rewarded. We always have to direct innovation toward where it'll be received well and rewarded. Seek the truth. Making progress is an iterative process, of course. Be open to independent, critical input. Don't process information through a tight filter. You have to really hear and listen to feedback you're getting. Be disciplined. Be methodical and thorough. That pays off. Try things. When in doubt, try it. Don't be frozen by the uncertain or the unknown. Be willing to fail, because you will. When it happens, dust yourself off, move forward. Don't be paralyzed by those mistakes. Learn from them, apologize, move on. Very serious. Be skilled. Identify the skills and expertise that's needed. and apply those skills relentlessly to solve the problem. Be aggressive, be assertive, don't be arrogant. If you're passive, you'll fail. If you're arrogant, you're likely to fail. Professionalism always pays off. Set a high standard, take the high road. Where does innovation happen? Where the innovators are, where the culture fosters innovation. Let's all assess our own culture. What's the corporate culture of innovation? That corporate culture knows that innovation drives value. That corporate culture doesn't punish mistakes. That corporate culture knows it's not about one person's idea. It's not my idea. It's all of us together. Balances internal and external innovation and ideas. Squashes the not invented here syndrome that creeps into all of our organizations. There are several key contributors in this innovation cycle. We started by doing a poll, and we're all here today. I'd like to talk a few minutes about the roles and attributes that are required and can be rewarded by each of these constituents. The entrepreneur, inventor, team has to have that breakthrough idea. It's got to be unique. It has to be protectable. Can't be a Me Too idea. That team, those people, those individuals, do not accept the current state. They drive for the desired state. They develop, test, and reduce to practice. It's an important, relentless skill. Amazing problem-solving skills are required. That team in that stage strongly challenges ideas to make sure they're strong enough and maybe bulletproof. Skilled, relentless, listening, responding, inspiring. And importantly, these people make others better around them. What about the clinician, early adopter? Obviously, we need the clinical, surgical, medical expertise. We need you to be open-minded. Sure, I'll try it. Let me give that a try. Constructively critical. Strong feedback. Real-world assessment of how are we doing? Does it work? No kidding. And help us position the innovation in the operating room, within the practice, with the patients. How does it fit? Where does it work the best? And the clinician early adopter is truly a driver of judging, do we have better medicine and better business with this innovation? The financial partner, venture capitalists, banks, financial advisors. We're not in this category if we don't have money, so we got to bring money. My hope is that we're a thought partner with the team. Constructive engagement, part of the solution, not part of the problem. Don't panic. Every project has its ups and downs, has its near-death experiences. We as partners have to be calm and cool during the toughest times. Access our network to help build the team, bring expertise, and bring additional capital, and maybe enable and help guide toward an exit path. Industry leaders, I view it as a partnership and a commercialization challenge. Global market presence, a culture that fosters and rewards innovation, allows mistakes, balances inside versus outside innovation, operationally skilled and deep and organized to commercialize new products globally, and drive adoption, which will assure access broadly and globally to customers and patients. So these are the key contributors to this innovation cycle. What about how it was then and how it is now? Just some overarching thoughts. If we look in the 70s and 80s in the ophthalmic field versus the current decades, the time to U.S. launch has lengthened. The role of Europe and OUS activity and the importance has dramatically increased. Reimbursement has changed. Previously, it was third-party only, and now it's a combination of third-party, but also private pay, patient pay. The cost of driving innovation into the market has gone up, as we know. But the market size is also dramatically increased. And so when we get there, the rewards can still be strong. So while times have changed, they've never been better. The innovation resources are focused, for sure, where they're rewarded. The key constituents in the innovation cycle, in this room and well beyond, are stronger and more connected than ever. There's more collaboration in the innovation cycle in this sector of ophthalmology than any other sector that I see. Innovation in surgical ophthalmology is definitely gaining. It is not losing momentum, even though there are some special challenges that we face like others. So I'm here to say thanks for coming today, and thanks for being committed to the innovation of surgical technology in the ophthalmic field, because guess what? When we do well, many people benefit. Thank you very much.